So, this is going to be a short video. Just a little short. I went to see Halloween Kills with my bro Stu. And I gotta say, without giving any spoilers away, this movie doesn't pull no punches. The title is self-explanatory. I'll just say that. And I feel like people are not understanding what this movie is meant to be. And I'm gonna just touch on something here. This is the second part in a three-act play. The next movie is going to be more contained, less violent, less gore, and it's going to be more reminiscent of the original, where there's tense, there's suspension. It's the final showdown, if you will. But this, perfectly said by my broski, is the Empire Strikes Back of Halloween. This movie doesn't hold back at all. I know people had complaints about the comedy here or there. To me, there wasn't really much of it. There were pockets of it, but it was nice to see a movie where we let humans have some common sense, and I know people say, oh well, that doesn't make any sense with the mob stuff, and that's not a spoiler, that's in the trailer. People are missing the point of the mob. The mob are not there to just be there. There is a reason they are there, and I'm not going to go into why, but you'll know when you see the movie. It's very hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it. But I will say this before I round off this little short here. This is probably my favourite Halloween movie, bar 1 and 2. It beats all the sequels. I'd say it's arguably better than 2018. And I can tell you this because the look and design and aesthetic, the creative choices that were made throughout this movie, whether the cinematography, the atmosphere, the landscape, the directing choices, it feels very reminiscent of the first two Halloween movies. There is a lot in here that if you are gore shy, or if you're afraid of blood, you might want to, I'm just saying, you know what you're in for with a Michael Myers movie. And for me, Michael Myers has always fallen short next to people like Jason or Freddy, or Ghostface even. But this movie here, you don't play with Michael. You don't play. Michael plays with you. Like, there's so many. Like, I am a firm believer, right? We should never see Michael Myers in a vulnerable position, ever. Always in control. And in this movie, there are times when he is in vulnerable spots, but it's not like Halloween 4 or 5, was it? Where you see him falling down the rapids and down the rocks. Like, we should never see how he gets from A to B. He just does. He's there and then he's not there. That is the enigma of his character. That's the boogeyman. That's the shape. This movie honors that in so many ways. You will have a good time with this movie. I've seen some people ragging on this movie, and I'm just stunned. I think this is really, really good. A really good... You guys need to remember one thing. How many horror movies are actually good? Be honest. Not many. And even fewer than that, how many slasher movies are good? Not many. There are moments in this movie where I was like, oh, shit. There was even a part in the cinema where me and Stu were, where there was literally all of us, everyone that was in the space was like, what are you waiting for? What are you doing? What? Like, it was, that level of investment is exactly why you need to watch this in the cinema, not on a streaming service. This movie is made for the cinema. The feel, the design, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is very, very strong because it's the original. Like, it's not just the original score, but it's like revitalized. The opening card of the movie. Oh, and this isn't a spoiler either. The returning characters from the original movie to here are paid off in such a way where you're like, wow, and that's why the mob has motivation. But you see, people, they don't use this. They're just kind of judging it as a solo movie, which is fine. But if you're a Halloween fan, then you will pick up on those little details. And I'm not the biggest Halloween guy, but I really like this movie. I really, really like this movie. Now, I don't really do ratings because my ratings will always change, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to say this is an 8 out of 10. I love this movie. there are points where I can nitpick the dialogue. The dialogue is a bit it's cheesy now and then. Some of the characters are a bit iffy, but we're not here for that. This isn't that movie. We are here to see Michael Myers tear some shit up. You know, that's what the whole premise of this movie is. And you could argue, well, Jacob, that, you know, I'm a Halloween fan and I love my Halloween like this. Well, you're going to get that. You're going to get that in the next movie. And the reason you're going to get that in the next movie is because this movie set it up. You can't get that without this. And Michael's kills in this movie are done with rage. He was just almost killed and it's not a spoiler. The 20 because I have to preface it. In the 2018 film where he's left for dead, he's pissed. And rightly so in his defense. He was left to burn. So he's angry. And what I love about this movie is the damage his mask takes sticks. You know, it doesn't just fade off. It sticks. You know, the damage is palpable. You see it. Carries over. Continuity. Characters from the original are really expanded upon, which is cool. The flashback, again, this ain't a spoiler. The flashback to 1978, because we've known about that for ages. That was before even the first trailer came out, that we were going back to 1978, to around that time. It felt like I was watching the first Halloween movie. You know, you even have certain choices in there with the cinematography, the mustaches on all the police. You know, it feels very 70s, you know, late 70s, early 80s. But this movie is really strong, really, really strong, and I highly recommend cinema. If you watched it on a streaming service, cool, I'm sure you still enjoy it, but I'm sorry, this movie is a cinema experience. This is what the cinema was for, movies like this. And I feel like you can really enjoy it more in the cinema. It's carnage candy. It's just, yeah, it's insane. Go watch it. Go watch the movie immediately. Like, stop what you're doing, go watch it. But yeah, it's just the design, the feel, the aesthetic. I had a good time with this movie. You know, I did a full rewatch, not necessarily a rewatch, but a full watch of all the Halloween movies last year, from 1 to Resurrection. And man, like after the first two, I skipped the third. 4, 5, and 6, I don't know what the hell they were doing. H2O, that mask is awful. It's probably one of the worst. You know, and then Michael Myers has got an afro on, you know, out of nowhere. Then he's killed at the end of the movie, and then somehow he survives because a paramedic, like he switched suits with a paramedic. That's not Michael Myers. He doesn't need to do that. It's not in his character. I don't believe it. Then you've got the Rob Zombie movies that are just, they feel like a Rob Zombie music video, if I'm being honest, and are quite brutal. Like really, just yeah, Jesus, like you know, our skull. You guys know the scene. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I really had a good time. Now, I say 8 out of 10, but remember, I don't like putting ratings on things because it will always fluctuate and change. It could go down to a 7 after a rewatch because the dialogue is really, but as of this moment, solid movie. Really enjoyed watching it. Recommend it highly. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's just literally Michael Myers just going around doing whatever the hell Michael Myers wants to do. But yeah, guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. I'll be touching upon this in my stream that will be coming in about half an hour, 40 minutes. I'll be talking a little bit more about it. Non-spoilers, of course, and then we might do spoilers, but I'll be sure to give you all the heads up for that, just because this movie is still fresh, and, you know, I've only just managed, like, it's been out for at least a few days now, and I've only just managed to see it today. So, yeah, you know, it's Halloween. It shouldn't be called Halloween Kills. It should be called Halloween Let There Be Carnage. You know, it's goddamn. Yeah, go and see the movie. Onwards to 6K. If you're a Halloween fan, let me know what's your favorite Halloween movie. You know, if you were to rank the movies, how would you rank them? I know some, like with Halloween, you get sort of like with Star Wars fans, you get like separate categories. So you get like the 1978, you know, Halloween 2 purists, and then you get like the ones who really enjoyed 4 to 6. Can't imagine why. Then you get like, you know, Resurrection with, you know, trick or treat, motherfucker. Wah! And then H2O. And the Rob Zombie ones, but yeah. But anyway, comment down below. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say in the comment section. And yeah, Michael Myers, he doesn't hold back in this movie, guys. He really does not hold back. From the minute this movie starts, like, it's carnage. Like, it's, yeah. But it's not like, I want to say this, it's not to the point where it's just they're covering up for stuff. The kills are earned. really earned, and they're done well.